I never believed people when they said a house could feel wrong. I thought that was just something people said after something bad happened, a way to explain fear when they didn't have real answers. But that night, standing alone in the hallway, I understood exactly what they meant. The house was quiet, but it wasn't peaceful quiet. It was the kind of silence that feels heavy, like something is listening. I was supposed to be alone. I knew that. Everyone had left hours ago. The house had been full earlier. Voices, music, movement, normal noise. Now it felt hollow, empty in a way that didn't feel natural. At first I told myself I was just tired. Long day. Too much caffeine. Too many horror stories in my head. The brain does weird things in silence. It fills in gaps that aren't really there. But then I started hearing things. Small sounds. Subtle ones. Not loud enough to be footsteps. Not clear enough to be movement. Just soft shifts. Light creaks. Faint changes in the air. The kind of sounds that could easily be the house settling. The kind of sounds you can explain away if you want to. I tried to ignore it. I stayed on the couch longer than I should have, scrolling on my phone, pretending the house felt normal. But I kept listening. My body was calm, but my attention wasn't. Every small noise pulled my focus. Eventually, I stood up and walked down the hallway. The lights were off except for the dim glow from the kitchen. The hallway felt longer than usual, narrower, like it was pulling me forward instead of letting me walk through it. I moved slowly, not because I was scared, but because something in my body told me to, like instinct, like hesitation without a clear reason. When I reached the back room, I expected nothing. I expected dust, furniture, empty space. That room was never used, just storage, old boxes, a broken chair. Nothing important. But the door was slightly open. Not wide, not dramatic, just enough to notice. And I knew I had closed it. I stood there for a moment, staring at the gap. The dark inside the room felt thicker than the dark around it, like the light from the hallway refused to go in. I told myself I was being stupid. Houses shift, doors move, air pressure changes, old hinges loosen. Normal explanations. I reached for the handle and pushed the door open. The room looked the same as always. Boxes, furniture, nothing out of place, nothing missing, nothing obviously wrong. But the air felt different. Stale. Warm. Heavy. Like the room had been closed for a long time. I stepped inside. That's when I noticed the smell. Not rot, not mold, not anything specific, just human. Like breath that doesn't belong to you. Like a room someone had been sitting in too long. I felt it before I understood it. That pressure in your chest, that quiet alarm in your body, that feeling that doesn't come from logic. I slowly backed out of the room and closed the door. I didn't lock it. I didn't check the house. I didn't call anyone. I walked back to the living room and sat down, pretending everything was fine. But I didn't relax. I stayed still, listening, waiting. The silence came back, but it wasn't empty anymore. It felt occupied. And that was the worst part. Not fear, not panic, not terror. Just the quiet certainty that something else was there. Not moving, not rushing, not hiding. Just waiting.